The topic of this lecture is bipolar junction transistor. In short, we call this BJTs. In first half of 20th century, the vacuum tubes were used for switching and application purposes. The vacuum tubes are the devices which can control the flow of electric current between its electrodes by application of external voltages or external potential. The disadvantages with vacuum tubes were they were bulky, larger in size, they need higher operating voltages and higher power was required to operate these vacuum tubes. And also the capability to amplify the signal were very limited, and we need a cooling mechanism to cool down after some processes, or we need a cooling mechanism to run these devices properly. The transistor was constructed in December 1947 in Bell Labs by the scientists named as Dr. William Shockley, Walter H. Brattain, and John Bedin. There are numerous advantages of this semiconductor device known as BJT transistor over vacuum tubes. These are smaller in size as compared to vacuum tubes. These are also lightweight, and the construction is more rugged as compared to vacuum tubes. The power efficiency of these transistors are much better than the vacuum tubes, and we need no warm-up period and no heater requirement for the proper functioning of this transistor. And also the lower voltages are needed to operate this transistor. BJT transistors are actually three terminal devices. There are three layers of semiconductor material, and we call them emitter, base, and collector. The base is the center, the layer which is in center of two other layers which we call emitter and collector. And the base is the one which is very lightly doped, and it has the lesser width as compared to emitter and collector. This is the basic construction of a bipolar junction transistor or BJT. We have two different types of BJTs. One is PNP and the other one is NPN. In PNP, the base layer is constructed with N-type material, and the outer layers are constructed with P-type material. Whereas in NPN transistor, we have base layer of P-type material and the outer layers are constructed with N-type material. For the proper functioning, one PN junction is made forward bias and the other PN junction is made by as reverse bias. As we can see, we have two PN junction. One is emitter base and the other one is base collector. So we make base emitter junction forward bias and we make base collector junction reverse bias for the process of amplification, and we have three terminals uh, available uh, for usage. These three terminals are named as emitter, base, and collector. So if we discuss the biasing of transistor, we already said that we make base emitter junction forward bias and base collector junction reverse bias, and this setup is actually uh, for transistor to be used as an amplifier. Now in this case we have a PNP transistor, and if we consider only this emitter base junction, we have to apply some external voltage to make this forward bias. To make this forward bias, we connect positive terminal of this source VEE to the emitter, which is P-type material, and the negative terminal of this voltage source to the base, which is N-type material. While doing so, we actually make the majority carriers from P-type material to move from P to N-type material, that is from emitter to base. In this case, in P-type material, the majority carriers are holes. Now from this source we are actually pushing them by attaching the positive terminal of battery over here. We push the positive charge carriers towards the base, and the flow of holes will be seen from P to N-type material. Now if we ignore base emitter junction and we see only the base collector junction, which we have to make reverse bias, we connect the negative terminal of this VCC source to the collector and positive terminal to the base. This make this base collector junction reverse bias, and the width of depletion region is shown here, is actually widened, and here we have shown a thin depletion layer. So the majority carriers which are actually made to flow from P to N-type material will end up in collector. In this case, the positive charge carrier or holes in N-type material are called minority carriers. So the positive charge carriers flowing from this base to collector terminal will be called minority carrier flow. Now we have to look overall flow of majority and minority carriers for PNP transistor. In this diagram we have showed both sources which we need to bias this transistor to make it operate in amplification range. Now with this junction, which is base emitter junction forward bias and base collector junction reverse bias, majority carrier flow is shown here, majority carriers are flowing from P2 n-type material and then to P-type material, which is collector. In this diagram, it is shown more clearly that majority carriers, which are holes in this case, are flowing from emitter to collector. A few of these majority carriers will be collected at the base terminal due to the negative potential over here. And the holes which were present in the base material that is made of n-type material, these holes in n-type material are called minority carriers, and they can be seen flowing from base to collector and named as minority carrier flow. So if you see the flow of currents at the terminal level, we have IE which is flowing in, IB which is flowing out, and IC which is flowing out. So by KCL we can write this equation: IE is equal to IC plus IB, and the collector current IC is actually the sum of majority carriers which were flowing from emitter to collector, and ICO which is ICO minority, which is the current due to minority carriers. Here ICO means current from base to collector with emitter terminal open. Even if we make this emitter to base junction unbiased, or we open this emitter terminal, then ICO minority will be flowing here, and we can measure this at collector terminal. Here we have shown majority and minority carrier flow in NPN transistors. In NPN transistors, we have the voltage source VE and VCC. Both are the polarities are actually reversed now, but the basic principle is same, that we make base emitter junction forward bias and base collector junction reverse bias. And as we can see now, the conventional current direction is in this direction, which is from collector to emitter. So this is shown here, and IC is flowing inward, IE is flowing outward, and IB is flowing inward. This equation will remain same, that is IE is equal to IC plus IB, and IC is equal to IC majority plus IC minority.